Okay, so the most interesting product of the Apple's Wake Up the Mac is actually the M4 Mac Mini. Yes, it's powered by M4 chipset. But the new thing is that this Mac Mini is totally different from design-wise, as well as it can be configurable up to Apple's M4 Pro chipset with up to 64 gigabytes of unified memory. That is a big thing. Now, this ultra-compact design kind of reminds me of the Apple TV 4K. It doesn't look different that much, except it's just silver-colored. But it's a bit taller than the last M2 Mac Mini we saw. It weighs around 607 grams for the M4 model and 730 for the M4 Pro variant because of the thermals and stuffs like that. Now, the I/Os are different though, slightly. It has two USB-C ports on the front alongside the headphone jack. It kind of feels like a tiny Mac Studio. While the back houses 3 Thunderbolt ports, Thunderbolt 4 on the M4 model and Thunderbolt 5 on the M4 Pro model. There is also HDMI port, 1 gigabit class Ethernet port. You can also get Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3 wireless connectivity on it. So this is really interesting. Now, the M4 Pro chipset actually comes in two configurations. One is a 12-core CPU and 16-core GPU. It's the base one. And then there is the 14-core CPU and 20-core GPU on the high-end trim, which is actually a $200 upgrade, but I think that's kind of worth it for the power users. The standard M4 chip though offers only 10 CPU cores, which is not bad though, and 10 GPU cores. The new Mac Mini is also configurable up to 64 gigabytes of unified memory, as I said, and up to 8 terabytes of storage for the high-end M4 Pro trim. And the best part is that, if you care, it does come with Apple Intelligence. Yeah. The new Mac Mini also starts at $599 for the M4 variant with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, and that is the biggest upgrade to me because the price is still very convincing while offering 16 gigabytes of RAM and the M4 chipset. The 512GB though will cost you $799, which is kind of a big jump in the pricing department, and the 24GB and 512GB variant will cost you $1,000. And if you opt for the M4 Pro chipset, then it will cost you $1,299 with the same exact storage and RAM configuration, because that's the base one for the Pro chipset. And the 64GB model will cost you $2,000 with the same exact storage. But if you opt for the most maxed out one with 14-core CPU, 20-core GPU, 64GB unified memory, and about 8 TB of storage, then it will cost you $4,599. Can you believe that? I mean, what? From $599 to all the $4,599. Anyway, that's the Mac Mini. Apple also updated the accessories like the keyboard and the Magic Mouse with USB Type-C now. But the Magic Mouse still has the weird placement for the USB-C. Now, this M4 chipset though actually allows the Mac Mini to connect up to 3 displays. And if you're thinking about the Thunderbolt 5 connectivity, well, it actually delivers up to 120 gigabits per second data transfer speed, more than doubling the throughput of the Thunderbolt 4. It is crazy to think about. You might need to buy new cables for that. But it's for the Pro model though. The standard M4 model will actually continue to have only Thunderbolt 4 ports. And now we have the iMac. Well, iMac actually got a weird kind of update, but here is the story. So the iMac got few new colors, actually different kind of shades of the colors they were already available. It's not different. The only thing it got is a massive chip upgrade from M1 to now M4, but it doesn't come in an M4 Pro model either. So there are only two options. One, you can go with the base model, which comes with 8 CPU cores and 8 GPU cores, but it's the M4 chipset. 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is great, at least not 8 gigabytes, and 256 gigabytes of storage. And it starts at $1,299, and it also supports up to 2 more 6K displays. Or you can buy the 10-core CPU and 10-core GPU model, which will cost you $1,499. I mean, $200 more for 2 more CPU cores and 2 more GPU cores, but with the same exact storage and RAM configuration. And it doesn't come with Thunderbolt 5 ports though at all. But just like the last model, the base model doesn't come with a Magic Keyboard with a Touch ID. Keep that in mind. And again, it will come with Apple Intelligence, and that's the iMac. It doesn't have any design changes at all, and I think that's fine. And it does have the same exact bezels at the bottom. Anyway, the Mac Mini seems the most interesting one to me. Let me know about your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you really excited about the newer Mac Mini? Even for the base model, it's crazy value for money. And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website. A link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.